for this match. First referee, Miss Joy de IMUS. Second referee, Mr. Jeffrey Barrientos. Let's welcome our starting lineup from our Iloilo Navigators. Let's begin with their team captain. He wears jersey number 4, Jerome Michael Cordez. At number 2, Dean Neil De Pedro. Wearing jersey number 8, John Wayne Aranyo. Wearing jersey number 13, Fena Guaza. Number 14, Rash Nursidik. And number 21, Jade Alex Desquitado. Starting libero is number 9, John Mark Espanso. Head coach, Mr. John Kenneth Panes. Calling on our City of IMUS, Adja Spikers. Let's begin with jersey number 6, Kim Malabunga. At number 8, Ridzuan Muhali. Wearing jersey number 13, Roniel Rosales. At number 15, Francis Saura. Number 21, Ray Taneo. And with jersey number 24, Hero Austria. Starting libero is number 5, Rico Marius Marmeto. And head coach is Mr. Sinfronio Sammy Akailar. This is match number 64, game 2 of the finals for the bronze.
And welcome to game number 2. We got the starters, Desquitado, Aranyo, Nursidik, Cuaza, Cordez, De Pedro, and Espanso. For the Navigators, Iloilo. On the other side, Austria, Malabunga, Taneo, Saura, Rosales, Muhali, and Marmeto. For the City of IMUS. Remember, it is 1-0 in this best of 3. Lamang ang kupunan ng The Navigators. And you talked about it, Noreen. If IMUS wins in 3 straight sets and Signal ends the conference with a win here today, they will pick up 3rd.
They will. But if they win in 4, and then, let's say they win in 4 and Signal wins, we will check the set quotient.
Yes.
So
we're going to go to a quotient system, which is a little complicated, which we will allow our scorers to do. But again, at the end of the day, we will find out sino ang lamang, because a lot of the fans of Signal are saying today is the final day of the conference.
D-Day. But let's say, if Signal is forced to a rubber match for the gold and IMUS wins, then we will have 2 games in the next day, game day. So today's Friday, so that's supposed to be Sunday.
Correct.
We will have a battle for bronze, winner take all, and a battle for gold. So those are the scenarios we're looking out for.
Again, of course, if the Navigators win today,
that's it.
Plain and simply put, even if Signal loses this afternoon, a little bit later on, sila pa rin ang 3rd.
That's true. That's true.
So darating sila sa linggo, pero just to get their 3rd place trophy.
And maybe some individual awards.
Yes. Pero wala na po. Isang laro na lang po ang gaganapin sa darating na linggo kung matatalo ang Signal mamaya. And the Signal fans are saying, nope, Anthony, no, Noreen, don't worry. We will take this via sweep. Let's find out. But right now, all the focus here on this battle for 3rd. And both these coaches have said, yes, people may be saying it's only a battle for 3rd, but we want to end the conference on a high note, and we want to take home some hardware.
And we always say that, every time we cover a battle for bronze, it's always better to get a bronze medal or a podium finish than none at all. Because years later, you will remember, who got the bronze in this 2023 Spikers turn? You'll remember, the bronze. Nobody remembers who the 4th placer is. So also for their organizations, you want, something to take home.
Look at Desquitado getting high up in the air. He saw the 2 blockers, and he just dinked it over.
Yeah. Well, he has that luxury right now because when he goes up, the opponents have so much respect for his hard kills, hard shots that they move back so he can dink the ball.
That's only the first point, though, here of the Navigators. Malabunga is trying to pick up his 2nd point. Desquitado from the back row. He's got all the 2 points. of the squad of the Navigators.
I wouldn't be surprised because his goal today is actually 30 points. That's his norm so far. So he's well on his way with 2 points.
He
That's a
needs
start.
to be able to get at least 10 per set
Yes.
if we go to just 3.
Yes. But then let's talk about IMUS. We did talk about their middles playing really well in game number 1, Rosales and Malabunga, and you're hoping for the same. So, that actually kind of frees up, not really frees up in terms of no blockers, but, it makes the opponent's blockers work double time for your outside or wing hitters.
Stop block there, and things looking early here for the squad of IMUS.
Very good start for IMUS. But again, their primary goal right now is actually to win in straight sets, and defense will play a big factor if they can be aggressive at the net.
Ooh, that would have sailed long, but it clips the arm of Disquitado.
Well, it was strong. It looked like a body shot also. Disquitado couldn't get away from that ball. That's a great serve.
It's an early 4-point lead here for IMUS. De Pedro's gonna get stuffed.
Hero Austria. We did see at the start of this conference what he can do offensively, but he has shown he can do it defensively as well.
A quick timeout's gonna be called here.
Kailangan natin sa kakampi natin, kailangan natin magtulungan dito. Kung ano yung nagawang mali ng kakampi natin, bumawi na lang tayo. Go. Bawi, tuloy yan.
Disip lang ulit, one stop.
5 lang yan, malayo pa. Kaya yan. Push, pagaling.
Go.
Oy, makinig yung problema natin, matamlay tayo, okay? Kailangan
Usap ka sa loob, get ka sa loob. Hey, Navi! Go!
Well, just picking out one word there from that huddle, matamlay. And it looks like, aside from Jay Disquitado, everybody else on a very slow start.
Yeah, of course, with that huddle, they're hoping that there's some fire in the boys.
Guasa's going to miss-hit that one. That's going to bring us to our technical timeout so quickly. Only 10 points gone here in set number 1, and it's 8-2 in favor of IMUS.
Ngayon ba daw? Ngayon ba kayo mag-attitude?
Wala nang bukas. Madali.
Sige lang, wala pa.
Kailangan namin.
Tulong ka pa. Sarap ka ba? Nasarap ka?
Salita na nga.
Sige lang. Pasahan nyo lang kayo sa likod.
Sige. Pag matapay ka natin, go.
Hey, Navi!
Go!
Anthony Narine for the all-time high 34-pointer Jade Disquitado. He is extremely grateful for the Navigators for pushing him to the best of his ability. And coming from a younger team last season, in just a matter of months, Jade said his maturity level has never grown this fast, and it is a big instrument to how he's playing today. For Iloilo team captain Jerome Cortez, pinaghandaan talaga nila ang kanilang Game 1 victory, seeing through the possible holes of their opponent's gameplay, maximizing their attacking prowess on IMUS's weaker serve reception. Let's see if they will carry on their last game victory this set 1. Back to the panel.
Thanks a lot, Alexis. While she was actually going through her report, Coach Sammy saw something that he didn't like, and he said there's going to be a foot fault. Quite possibly, that is the challenge that he is now asking to be reviewed.
Yeah, it actually caught everyone by surprise when you heard that buzzer. It was actually the coaching staff who signaled that they should have this challenge.
Let's see if it was eagle-eyed Oh, no.
That is so precise from Jade Desquitado.
So the challenge was unsuccessful.
You know, that is the risk if you challenge during a rally. You have to be 110% sure because, you know, the point hasn't been awarded to
Correct.
anyone, but because of your challenge, and then if it's unsuccessful, obviously it will be awarded to your opponent.
And so that does that go to Desquitado?
It went to the Navigators.
So it goes to the Navigators, but point Desquitado? O sino the one attacking?
Actually, that's a good question. We need to check that.
Because that actually wasn't a kill,
It wasn't. It wasn't.
right?
Learned something new
Just
every day.
curious.
That's a pretty good point.
De Pedro dug there. Look at that back set and going cross court.
Well, we've seen the versatility of Saura's game here in this conference. He did join the team rather late, so he's playing the opposite. So he's been, you know, I mean, you can see, before we're so used to him in the middle.
Now it's a 7-point lead here enjoyed by IMUS at 10-3.
What a start for IMUS.
That's the way they got to do it. And we talked about them wanting to win this one in 3.
In straight sets. Or if in 4, you know, the set quotient still.
Oh, that time, without a challenge, it was our first referee saying that he stepped on the attack line.
So then, you know, for Coach Sammy, that earlier football challenge was a success because it got the first referee to keep looking every time Jade Desquitado attacks from
That's
the
a
pipe.
very good point. That's a good point. Good reception there. But here at that time won't be able to.
Whoa!
Oh, they do keep it alive.
Oh! I was worried for Marmeta because he was going down to the dugouts.
I was like, did he leave something there? And was he about ready to pick it up? I'll be back.
A great effort though, look at that. He really went to the dugout.
Combination play. Here comes Mohali.
Boy, they're looking really good. Talking about IMUS going to combination plays. They're receiving so well today.
But you know, a big win here. If they win huge, let's say probably 25-15, that will really help their quotient.
Yes. But for first and foremost, they want to win.
That's
period.
right.
As to the manner, we'll talk about it later.
And now, may konting sigla tayo nakikita galing dito sa The Navigators. Can they keep it up though? They're still down by a lot.
You know what they can do. We've seen it throughout the conference. They're a young team, a new team at that. But I'm sure Coach John Panes just wants them to wake up. Wake up.
That's going to go outside. No, it's not. Mohali's going to pick up point number 2.
Yeah, it goes down the line, catches that corner. Everyone's playing well for IMUS.
They're getting contributions from just about everyone.
Good serve.
Malabunga. That tip from Taneo's not going to work. And here goes right back to work is Jade Desquitado.
It's just a smart hit, you know. You have 2 blockers. You have Taneo and Malabunga in front of you. Of course, you challenge the smaller blocker.
With success there.
Yeah.
Look at that extension.
He hit 2 people with that. Taneo and Saura.
Good serve there from Nursidik, but Malabunga thought that tip was going to be enough.
Oh, good cover.
That time, they said, we're going to get the point.
You know, that's poetic justice, I always say, because early on, it looked like Jay Desquitado did not hit it over. Even IMUS was kind of stopped, and then they did not blow the whistle. But then they still get the point, and it was still Malabunga.
They were thinking, should we challenge? We challenged a while ago. We lost our challenge, so let's hold on to this one first. That's down.
Well, interesting numbers here for IMUS. We talked about their good defense. They already have 4 blocks early on here. And there's none yet for the Navigators.
Austria will pick up a point. No, it's still alive.
Yeah, good save. Whoa.
Malabunga. Dug.
Oh, great one-on-one by Taneo there. Oh, what a dig.
Hero denied once again, but that tap over is not going to find the inside of the court.
Well, we know that we can sense that IMUS is playing a great team game today. But what about the individual efforts? Taneo had a solid single block. Not a stuffed block, but he stopped Jay Desquitado. So it started from there. It kept the ball in play.
That's bringing Desquitado's percentage down a little bit. He does have 4 points. That serve will go long for Taneo.
And still, they have a pretty comfortable lead here. But what you want if you're IMUS, you want to keep pouncing on the Navigators. You know they're a young team. Maybe we always say diesel engine, but you don't want to give them some life here in the first set.
That's for sure. Miscommunication there. Malabunga was coming inside towards the net.
But you like the way Taneo has been going to Kim Malabunga today. You know, a lot of different options, but he's giving Malabunga his touches. And a variety of sets at that.
Desquitado now with the serve.
Ooh.
That's in. That's an ace.
Okay, if he can't get it in front, he'll get it from the service area. That's how crafty he is. Look, that's fast. Precision for you.
Will he try to look down the line once again? Yes, he will. He took a lot off that one, though.
Oh.
Combination works once again. You've got to react to Malabunga.
Yeah, that's why, you know, he sold that very well.
Watch it once again.
No blockers for Hero Austria.
Basta na pag nakita nyo, andyan na kagad, inasundan nyo lang. Bang ano? Tapos makinig, mababa lang yung bola nila. So dapat mabilis tayo. Okay? Bilisan kasi mababa lang. Hindi sila nag-eyeball. Okay? Tapos pasok yung kamay. Walang highball, walang highball, okay?
Hey, Navi! Go!
Pasahan mo na, pasahan mo na sa harapan.
Wayne, hindi siya kasama si Wayne.
Ito lang nga, kaya natin na.
So, ay, receive ha.
Welcome back to the action here at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Anthony Sta here together with Noreen Go, and we've got a battle for third between the Navigators, who lead 1-0 in this best of 3 up against IMUS. But IMUS is leading here in set number 1.
Pretty good start for IMUS here. And everyone is actually playing well for IMUS.
Bump set. And Enga is going to pick that one up.
Oh, you love that joust at the net because it was there for quite a while. But the Navigators gets that. Look at this. That was a long joust.
Guaza now. Guaza has had a breakout season here
Oh, yeah.
in his move to the middle spot.
Oh, what a dig.
And easily putting that down was Rosales, who we talked about during the pregame.
And he is delivering still, but you got to give credit to the digging of Marmeto, paving the way for that perfect play for IMUS. Boy, you know, the Navigators can't seem to find their groove here in the first set.
Closest they've come after being down by as big as 8 has been 6, which is where we're at right now.
And another substitution on the side of the Navigators, trying to find the right balance and the right chemistry here in this first set.
That might have sailed long.
Well,
smart hitting from Muhali. He's got 3 points already.
You know, that's a perfect term for that, smart hitting. You know, it was an out-of-system play. Look at that, the bump set. Muhali just read the defense of the Navigators. Here, Austria to serve now for IMUS, trying to increase their lead. Good serve, good pass.
Staff block once again. Rosales and Muhali conspiring on that one.
Well, it looked like Muhali got a hand at that. Check it out. Yeah, was Muhali. Boy, he's been doing it both in offense and defense.
Austria. That's a good reception there. Ooh, will they challenge?
Well, Marmeto was so sure. He gave a thumbs up sign to the coach and the coaching staff.
Challenge number 6, floor touch.
Let's see.
This is going to be the second challenge here for Coach Sammy. But that one was right in front of him. And that one, I think, he issued even without consulting his coaching staff. A while ago, it was his coaching staff that gave him the word to challenge.
Well, he took his cue from Marmeto because Marmeto was so sure that was a good play. Oh.
Ooh, he touched the floor.
Yeah.
He was a fraction of a second late. So he touched the floor.
Well, based on the video and the verdict,
yes.
it's a floor touch. Yes, meaning it's a floor touch.
So in other words, they lost the challenge.
They lost the challenge, right.
And it was right because the hand was here and the ball was in front.
Yeah.
He got half the ball.
Yes.
So a portion of the ball still hit the floor.
Well, that was clear in our slow-mo. Nonetheless, IMUS is out of challenges here.
Touching the net that time, though. So they get their lead back up to 8.
And double substitution. Familiar ones, Villanueva and Polvorosa in. They want to finish this. You know, they have an 8-point lead. They want to finish this. Well, but if you're the Navigators, what you want right now, it's they can play so much better than what they're showing us here in the first set. You want a little bit of fire in their eyes. Like that. That's a great challenge by Nursidek. You start from there and you pick up. You may not end up winning this set, but at least it's a better showing going into the next set.
Not to mention the fact that the quotient might come into play. Kailangan get as many points still as you can here.
Yeah, because IMUS, although they lost that first game, everything was in the line of 20s.
Disquitado's gonna score once again.
Well, better hits right now from the Navigators.
And the kid just got splashed with milk.
Paikutin mo siya. Muhali dito ka ha. Ito yung porsyento. Okay. So B ha, B sa likod. Ikot si ano dito, si Muhali. Ito yung open ha. Pumapalo sa atin yung supportan nyo.
Let's go, IMUS! IMUS! Josh, nakasama yung palo.
Very quick. Coach Sammy knew exactly what his team needs to do. It just depends on them to execute. Once again, we're at that 6. That has been the point, that they were not able to really break that barrier.
Well, if you're the Navigators, you want to try to break that barrier. Chance right now.
Back to Disquitado. Disquitado is going to send that long.
Yeah, they will not challenge this. Back to a 7-point lead for IMUS.
Here's Jade once again as he scores.
Well, you know, there's a small space between Josh Villanueva, Kim Malabunga, and the net. And Jade Disquitado is able to get it through. You saw that in the slow-mo. That's how good he is.
Malabunga, power tip. Disquitado was there. Nursidik with the bump set.
Oh.
That time, though, Jade gets denied.
Well, he went for the same attack. He got the set once again, but you saw the adjustments made by Josh Villanueva. Look at that. There was so much over the net than the previous one.
Wala na tayong
Wala nang space.
Espasyo.
Good save there.
Guaza finally on the board.
Boy, but you know, you gotta credit really Espanso for that, for keeping that ball alive. A pretty silent set so far for Guaza. You're hoping that will build his confidence.
That will not get over.
Check it out right here. Yeah, no hands.
But you win a close play such as that one and you give up another point. That's gotta hurt.
It is. I mean, it does hurt for the Navigators. So again, if you go on, let's say for the Navigators, you were talking about the quotient system earlier. If you want to go on, of course you don't want. If you go on to lose the first set, you got to break the 20s.
Correct.
That's your goal right now.
So they've got to get this point. Because you talked about it, it was really close in game number 1.
Wow.
Look at Disquitado says, don't worry, coach. I'll give you more points before we're done.
And you know, he challenged Kim Malabunga. He saw his blockers. Hero Austrian Kim Malabunga. He still went cross-court. He was able to go for that deep angle. Look at that. And he's just 18 years old.
The future is so bright.
He's well within his average of 10 points.
Malabunga says enough is enough. That's going to bring us to set point.
Well, again, you have to credit the first pass. Look at that. Paved the way for that Malabunga attack.
Guaza picks up point number 2. Here he comes. Getting some support now from his team is Jade Disquitado.
And look at the score of The Navigators is just 1 point away from 20.
Coach Sammy with one final timeout here.
Ipitin mo to, ha? O, ito, magbibisi, buro. Ikaw po, ito si, si Renz. Dito si Buro. Ito lalabas ka. Ito pumunta ka rito, ha? So, B, atras si Zhao, diyan ka sa gitna.
Start niya sa receive.
Yeah! Hey! Isipin niyo sa inyo ang bola.
So you can see Coach Sammy knows, yes, set number 1 is essentially with us. Pero kailangan makuha natin yung puntos na to.
Well, he obviously designed some plays there. But they gotta pass well first. First and foremost.
Quasar, that's a great serve. Well, they got it. Just the way it was drawn up.
No, really, it was an out-of-system play, but Saura, look at this. Saura gets that kill.
See? That's what I said. Get the point. Get the victory. Set number 1 is ours. 25-19, it goes to IMUS. Okay. Set number 1 goes to IMUS, 25-19. They got off to a great start. They led 8-2 and never looked back.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They had a good start, and then everyone contributed. That's what we like about them, because you know that they need to win this in straight sets, and they really gave it all they've got in the first set alone. They passed well. Blocking went their way. I think in that first game, they had 10 blocks in the first set alone. I'm sure it's more than half of that. At least we felt that. So IMUS looking good. Everyone contributing, like we said. For the Navigators, yes, Disquitado's been getting his points, but it can't be just Jade Disquitado. It has to be a team effort. They have to wake up. Because you still, if you're the Navigators, you want to get the bronze.
As we take a look at the numbers here.
Yeah, in terms of attacks, it's just by 2. And in favor of the Navigators. We saw that, you know, the numbers, the strengths in terms of offense. Blocking, it's actually 6 compared to 1. So that's huge. Great defense. And the errors, Iloilo, 6 errors, 3 for IMUS. But again, if you're the Navigators, you have to focus on your goal today. You want to win, whether or not it's 3 sets. Of course, cannot. 4 sets or 5 sets, you just want to win.
Signal players are in the house enjoying the action. They will not be in action, but their male counterparts will be, because they are in the finals. And they are 1 game away from a complete sweep.
Yeah, pretty dominant conference so far for Signal. A pretty great conference so far for Jade Desquitado. That's his 11th point, so he scored 10 points in set number 1. Well within his average, as we said, as he's chasing 30 points today.
But aside from personal glory, he's after the hardware as well. This is the start that the Navigators want.
And that's a celebration we're accustomed to seeing when we're watching the Navigators, you know, the happiness, the enjoyment, which obviously was not there in set number 1. Oh, what a serve. Well, Francis Saura from the pipe playing well also for IMUS. I'm telling you, Saura, this conference showing us his versatility as a player. Before, we were so used to the quicks, the blocks, but now there's the running, the pipe.
Desquitado stopped. Jade again.
Oh, still alive.
Guaza.
Good save.
De Pedro, just not enough air under that one.
Well, he had the right thing in mind, trying to tip it over the blockers, but just too short. Yeah, look at that. Just a little stronger push there. Well, the first referee, I'm looking, she spoke with the captains and tried to, you know, taper the emotions down a bit, which I'm actually not for, because you like the emotions, you know, at the high for these players.
Especially for the Navigators, they showed no life until the latter part of that first set.
Yeah, so you want to see a lot more enthusiasm, actually.
Let's see if they can keep it up. Desquitado now with the serve.
Well, right now, obviously, the challenge is for Guaza, De Pedro, and Malaiba to, you know, try to get some points. Take the pressure away from Jade Desquitado.
Was that a tired serve coming here for Jade?
I wouldn't say tired. This kid doesn't get tired. I think it's more of, you know, miss-hit on his part. You score 30 points day in, day out. I don't think you're a guy who gets tired.
That's true.
Austria, with the help of the net, they grab the lead. And guys, in for De Pedro. Can't seem to get his groove here in this match.
Commissioner Fritz Gaston is here, enjoying the action. As winning that point is the squad from IMUS, and now they've got the lead at 5-3.
Yeah, Rosales with a one-on-one block there against Guaza. This is actually a matchup we want to see today. Apolinario now into set for the Navigators.
Good serve from Malabunga. They go back to the pin. And a score there will bring them to within 1.
Well, great passing there. Not perfect, but still playable. You know, that's the risk if you keep going to your strong players. The others are just, you know, sometimes they get tired of approaching and waiting. But if you distribute the ball, even just a little bit, I'm saying, yes, you have a great player in Desquitado. You're right, you want to go a lot to him, but you have to get the other players some touches so that when you need them, they're warmed up.
Not to mention the fact that obviously you want to keep the defense guessing.
Also,
because after a while they start keying on just one individual. That tip wasn't able to get over. And it's going to work here for the Navigators, and they're within one once again.
Yeah, you can see Malaiba. I mean, Saura had a hand in that, but he was on his way down. Oh.
Bang. Mohali has slowly been picking up the points.
You know, I mean, the first time I remember I watched Mohali or covered Mohali, I was so impressed because when you look at his height, again, not the tallest of players, but he's so good.
Just 1 point now separating these two squads. In set number 1, it was actually 8-2 during the first break.
Yeah, so better set for the Navigators. That's the way you want to start, actually.
And now we're tied at 7 apiece.
Well, keep it close first and then try to pull away if you're the Navigators. And Jay Disquitado's back in front.
Mohali gets denied, and that is going to bring us to our first technical timeout. And lo and behold, it's the Navigators on top. Watch it once again. They did not get too many blocks in that very first set. They pick up one there, and they lead 8-7.
Service, sigurado na lang muna natin para umusad tayo, ha? Hayaan nyo na yan, isa lang naman.
Sige boss. Okay guys.
Anthony Noreen, you were talking about two notable players earlier today. Hero Austria with 14 points told me that we should be expecting a surge of energy coming from IMUS today, given na realization nilang kampante at malamya ang kanilang pagkilos last game. Ray Taneo, on the other hand, said he's being motivated to up his game as he has national players alongside him in his team. He's being challenged, setting alongside Ish Polvorosa, leading him to strengthen his skills and elevate his standards of playing volleyball. As each game is a learning experience, and today a chance to get the bronze. Let's watch them perform quick quality v-ball action. Back to set 2.
Again, we can't understate the importance of this match for both these squads. They want to take home some hardware.
Well, for sure, and what you like for the Navigators is you have Nur Siddiq actually getting his game, getting his groove here in the match.
When Mohali's going to pick up another point, he's slowly racking up pretty good numbers.
Well, challenging again the smaller blocker, Apolinario. But you know, that's why actually the Navigators wanted Aranyo to set because of he's taller and for defense, for blocking, but they need Apolinario right now.
Austria there with a smart hit. Did you see Malabunga fly in there?
Yeah. But I was actually watching Nur Siddiq. He got, you know, you saw his reaction. He got surprised that I wasn't able to block it over. Just perfect timing there by Hero.
Disquitado's gonna get stopped there. Polvorosa was there together with Malabunga.
That's just great net defense for you from IMUS. Look at this. It was actually Ish Polvorosa. Good save. Oh, no follow through.
That was a good pancake. compared to the other one in the first set. That was clear, but As you said, no support.
No support. And you can see Ishpolverosa go and hug him after because, I mean, Francis Saura is not really known to be a defender, but because of his change in position, he gets to defend right now because they always swap the middle blockers. And he's showing us he can do pancake.
Nice stretch there by Disquitado. That's going to get them the point here.
Oh, if you can do that, I can do this better. Look at Apolinario getting that point. They're making Saura work today.
That's the second time he's been caught getting down and dirty.
Sprawling.
Nice serve there from Nursidik. Combination, and that is a violation. Clearly from Mohali. Gigil na gigil siya ron.
Yeah. I guess that was a great combination play. Look at that. Only one blocker and late, but net touch.
Guaza pointing it out right away to the referee. He touched the net.
Oh,
that's a great joust.
Boy, Ishpolverosa, quality minutes, 2 points, one off a block, and this joust. And he's up against the middle blocker in Guaza. He gets that.
Guaza is one of the strongest individuals we have here in the conference.
Well, Ishpolverosa is obviously stronger. Oh!
Polverosa right now is owning Guaza.
Doing it in defense. I mean, he's a decent defender, we have to say. But he's not really top of mind when you talk about blocking. But you're right, he's owning Guaza.
We are tied at 12. Back to Disquitado again. Another block up front. And that's Malabunga together with Polverosa.
Boy, Polverosa is infectious here in the second set.
That was him once again.
That was him again.
Well, I guess they say, I'm not challenging Malabunga.
That's
I'm going
true.
to Polverosa.
And Ish knows that. Ishpolverosa knows they're going to go to him, so he's just squared up.
And a timeout now will be called by the Navigators. They've lost the lead.
Lamang natin. Eh, doon yung resibo para yung wigger natin doon pupunta para may wala yung blockers. Okay? Maliit lang naman dito yung spiker eh. Hindi naman kargado yung receive tulak doon. Eh, quick lang si Pio. Okay? Quick lang si Pio doon sa harapan para palayo. Para maluwag dito kay Jade. Okay? Adjust natin yung...
Ay, go lang.
Kaya lumalamang na tayo eh.
Hey, Navi! Go! Kaya ma-intimidate.
Pasok lang, Mohali.
So these are the numbers of Polverosa so far. 4 points. He has 1 on attack and 3 blocks.
In a span of what, 1 minute? 2 minutes?
3 at the most.
Yeah, 3 at the most. Impressive.
Mohali with the serve. His team now up by 2. And they go right back to the scoring machine.
Exactly. If he can't score from the outside, he'll score from the opposite. That's a smart set. You know, I mean, they've already acknowledged the fact that Polverosa is blocking well, so challenge Austria.
Ooh, Austria's going to run out of space, and we're going to be tied at 14.
Boy, these errors creeping in for IMUS here. Again, for those who just joined us, IMUS needs to win. Hopefully, if Signal wins today, they need to win in straight sets to claim the bronze. So they have a chance.
Back up to a 1-point lead here. Parang decidido tong kupunan ng IMUS na 3 straight sets.
Actually, they're looking good. You're right. I mean, you like what you see. You know, after an error, you come back, you bounce back. You know, Austria makes up for that.
1-point lead once again, enjoyed by IMUS here.
good save. Another good save on the other end.
Oh, that time the libero was there, but the Espanso just couldn't really get to it properly.
Oh, what a save by Ishpolverosa.
Muñata at a technical timeout.
Tatas ng buo ang kamay, magdadrop yan, ha? Go, go.
Go, push pa. IMUS! IMUS, one team.
So, kasi mag-magic.
So officially, it was a technical timeout. 16-14 is our tally, and it's IMUS up by 2 at 16-14.
Well, the entry or the substitution of Ishpolverosa proving to be huge for Coach Sammy and IMUS.
That has been the real page turner, so to speak.
Yeah. Ooh.
They swing it to the other side, and Saura delivers.
Someone woke up on the right side of the bed today. And he looks good. I mean, again, for so many years, even when he was playing for the national team, we were so used to him being the opposite of Kim Malabunga. And now we can see, you know, what talent, other talents he has. Oh, good save.
Chance, though, to transition once again. This time, Engay scores.
Well, Engay has been coming in and out of the match, coming off the bench, but we know Engay, he can score that way. He needs to help out, you know. The Navigators wants to win the second set. Jay Desquitado to serve. Oh, what a great serve.
That's going to go out. That was a missed opportunity. That should have been their point.
Yeah, that's just one blocker in front of him. He saw the hand, so he wanted to elude the hand, but gigil.
Now a three-point advantage once again, 18-15. Oh. Another block kill.
Boy, everyone's joining the block party for IMUS.
Was John Panes thinking when he should call his timeout once again, because the momentum is clearly now on the side of the squad from IMUS. This is their biggest lead here in the second set.
And it was a better set for the Navigators, but you know, I think you're right when you're saying that IMUS really refuses to let this go. They want to win this in 3.
Well, Desquitado again. Goodness gracious, looking at these numbers, IMUS already with 12 blocks as compared to just 3 on the other side. But Rosales quietly making his presence felt.
Yeah. And we know that. We saw it in the first set. If everybody's contributing for IMUS, they're in a good place. They look good.
Back up to a 4-point lead. Serving now is Austria.
Good save there by Desquitado. Another one.
Trying to go cross court. The defense was there to the pin. It's going to stay inside.
Yeah, Nursidik, he's got a, you know, he's been playing well in the second set, but kind of tapered off. He's just got to play consistent. Oh, actually, that looked like it was Aranyo with that block.
Mohali's gonna get denied there.
Into the block. 21-17.
Got in.
Oh, good cover. That's still alive.
One of the best points we've seen so far. Disquitado just goes through the defense.
That's a three-man block, but you got to credit the coverage, the block coverage. I mean, IMUS has been blocking spectacularly here in this match so far, except for that. But they were able to cover. That's what even Navigator should do. Acknowledge the fact they're blocking well, so we got to cover.
They just go right back to their scoring ways. Mohali is closely getting to that double-digit mark.
Yeah, and playing it smart. I mean, he targeted the high hands there. See that? It's really, his purpose was to check it off the blockers.
Back up to a 4-point lead. IMUS looking good here. Disquitado just sent that one over. Back to the paint, Mohali. Disquitado will just get that back so they can get it over. Looking for a quick play. Malabunga mishit that one. But Mohali again says, I want to get to my 10 points quickly.
I do, but we're noticing Disquitado a bit out of his game right now.
And a timeout will have to be called by Coach Panes.
May chance pa tayo eh. Kaso hinahayaan nyo lang eh. Okay. Imbis matrabaho tayo maayos, wala. Binabaliwala lang natin. Kailan pa yan? Kanina pa yung ano na yan. Kanina pa yung relax lang, relax. Hanggang kailan? Hanggang matapos yung game, relax pa rin. Oh, pasok na.
Well, you can see the hurt in the voice there of Coach Panes. He's like, pwede pa natin makuha to eh.
Oh.
But again, it seems like his team looks like a beaten lot.
And I was looking at Jade Disquitado the entire time. He didn't join the huddle. He's so frustrated with his teammates. It's like, I'm trying, but you gotta help out. He needs. I mean, he'll try. Well, that's an error, but aside from that, he's trying his best. So the team has to work hard. Hear Coach Panes. Hear him say that you have to work hard.
And there you can see that. Thank you so much, Direk Koy. And you can see the frustration written all over the face here of Jade. They go right back to him. And he sends that one to the net, and that's promptly going to end set number 2.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but again, it ain't done for the Navigators. You can still win this in 5, or at least win a set off of IMUS.
Don't look now, it is IMUS up 2-0 after taking that second set 25-18 as we take a look at the highlights here of our second.
Well, at the start of the second set, it looked like the Navigators had a better game as compared to the first, because the first, clearly the enthusiasm, the fire, we didn't see that. We saw that in the first game, in game number 1. Here in game number 2, there's something missing with this team. We can't quite put a finger on it. Desquitado showing his frustrations. We saw it in his last few attempts. But they're not out of it. They're still in the hunt for the bronze. They have to win. If they lose in 5 sets. So there are, again, options for the Navigators. Look at the attacks. IMUS 12-10. That's just by 2. But IMUS's defense, man, I mean, it's really on point. 6-3. Serves went their way. The errors, we gotta hand it to the Navigators. 6, they kind of lessen their errors. But IMUS really playing a great game, all-around game. So they want to win in straight sets. The Navigators, let's just reiterate, Anthony. You want the bronze, given Signal will win. Let's say Signal wins today. IMUS is up 2 sets. You want to at least lose in 4 or 5, but increase your quotient. So you're better off in 5.
For sure.
You don't want to lose, actually. But if you are to lose in 5.
And right now, their backs are against the wall. If you look at it, they did win game number 1, but they're down 2-0 here. Apolinario going to start things off. And that's the problem sometimes, Lorene, when you have a young squad.
Yeah.
When they fall behind, when things are not going your way, you look deep down inside, but you don't have that experience to draw from.
That's true. And the maturity, which we know will come in time. But I was actually looking at Cordes before the start of this third set. He went to Jade Desquitado, pat him in the behind. Nothing. Nothing. He's just that infuriated with his teammates.
Well, if he continues that fury and he doesn't direct that fury towards the opponent, it's going to be a short third set.
Well, that's your answer.
Well, that's what he said. I got a short memory.
Getting it through the blockers. And you can feel, actually, we're feeling the emotions of that hit from Jade Desquitado.
I want to see what he does here with this serve, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes, with all that rage inside, he's going to spray this one out. Or into the net.
Or into the net. You gotta shake it off. I mean, again, it's not yet done. You have still your goals in mind. So you gotta shake it off. But if you're IMUS, you wanna take advantage of this opportunity.
And now maybe it's a time for the teammates of Jade to pick up the slack a little bit.
It is the time. It is. I mean, we saw good plays from Nursidik, Engay. Just have to contribute.
He's not really actually called De Pedro's name as much
as
we have in previous games. Guaza as well.
Wow.
Look at that. Patong na patong.
Again, first ball working for IMUS today, and Taneo, who's actually back to set here in the third set, gives that great combo.
Serve of Austria into the net. Disappointed about that one, but we are tied at 3.
Yeah, we saw the toss. As soon as the ball, it wasn't like comfortable for him.
De Pedro just sent that one in. Quickly put down by the gentleman we talked about extensively in our pregame today.
Yeah, Rosales. His improvement really throughout this conference alone was so so impressive.
Nursidik will not find the inside of the court.
I like the way the liberos, they have their own style, right? But Marmeto, sometimes when he receives, he's looking at the player already immediately when he knew he's going to receive it. He looks at the opponent, such as that. He knew it was out from Nursidik. Okay. That's a start for the Navigators. That's a start. I mean, after the hitting error, you go back to Nursidic. He gets that kill. That's a start. Everyone's going to pick up from there. You got to find some source of inspiration if you're the Navigators.
But what can you do? Because Mohali just continues to come up with those points. You haven't even had a chance to celebrate your point. Score ka agad yung kabila.
So that's when they're using their maturity, I would say. Because you do have national team players here. You have Ish, you have Kim, you have Saura. Forgive me if I forget to mention other players, but you have that. So you know there's maturity already injected into this team.
1 point lead still being held here by IMUS. Well, a while ago in that interview of Alexis during the pregame with Coach Sammy, Sammy actually wasn't hiding the fact that he was very disappointed during the battle for third. He expected his squad to be at least in the finals.
I did talk to him before the game, and he did say his frustrations is they can't seem to train all together for a long period of time. So probably come October, if the second season is October, there will be a more gelled team, and they're expecting nothing less than the finals.
Cortez will send that into the net. And that's going to bring us to this technical timeout. And in command of set number 3 is IMUS as they lead 8-5.
Anthony Narine, a while ago I was talking about power. Now let's talk passion. Roniel Rosales of IMUS started playing when he was in 4th grade, a sport he's grown to love, and he was originally into basketball, but look where he is now. On the other hand, better late than never, Dian Neil De Pedro only started training for volleyball in college, and he's happy he had the chance to start a career here in the Pro League. Delving into today's battle for bronze, De Pedro said it's mind over skills because they're all highly skilled equally. Now it all comes down to composure. Let's go back to set 3 to see who will dominate this set.
You can see, Noreen, different paths taken by different athletes, but in the end, they still make it here. So one started out as a very early age, the other one started out in college. And a lot of times, if you start out in college, you might not make it here to this level.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're really God's gift to volleyball.
That's right. One of those diamond in the roughs that they find suddenly in college.
You know, I remember watching all these interstitials before the game, and was it Bugawan or Sumagaysay who started in college? I mean, one of those players, and then see the way they have progressed throughout their career. That's the God's gift to volleyball.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, come on.
And here comes Malabunga says, well, I think I'm a gift as well.
He is. Oh, he's been playing well and rightfully said it to Kim Malabunga. You know the caliber of Kim Malabunga. You feel sad if you just see, oh, he's just scored 4 points, 5 points in a game. You know he's more than that.
Right now, he is trying to lead his squad to a victory here. That's a great dig.
That's a great dig. You're right.
And Austria is going to send it into the net. And Marmeto looked like he was going to go to Austria and whack him in the head.
Wasted opportunity on the side of IMUS.
But still, they're up by 3. That has been the game plan of Coach Sammy win in 3. That's going to be another 4-point advantage here. That's the second serve that has been hit straight into the net, and that one whacked long.
Well, you can already see his heart is not in the game. You know, that he's getting or letting his frustrations get the better of him. But then you have to realize it ain't done yet. I mean, you're down 8-11. I'm looking at the score, but it ain't done yet. You know, there's still that window of opportunity for Jay Disquitado and for the Navigators to get back in this match.
I totally agree. Here's Guaza. He has been serving so well all throughout this conference. And he continues to do so.
On cue.
And Rosales says, on cue as well. Continue to talk about me during the pregame. I will continue to come up with stellar play.
Yeah. Great recognition on the side of Taneo to set it to Rosales. But again, he has been distributing it really well today.
That's a great serve there from Austria. Taneo goes right back to that spot. Why not?
Why not? Boy, Saura, you know, getting really comfortable in that opposite position.
Austria with another serve. He's serving so well as well.
Yep.
De Pedro is going to score. The last time I remember calling his name was in set number 1.
Set number 1. And sparingly.
Gonna go down the line, but it's out.
Well, this is the chance, you know, for the Navigators. You know, you're being given a couple of free points here. Your chance to come back. Good serve.
Mohali. De Pedro just trying to keep that one alive. He was just too far back.
Well, good effort. It starts from there. At least you're not letting it touch the floor without the challenge. But you're right, you know, I mean, we've seen De Pedro and his ability to defend.
Another block kill.
Speaking of ability to defend, Rosales saying this is the way to defend.
You've got to like the strategy here of Coach Sammy.
Yeah.
He's making sure that the defense is always experiencing something new. In the first set, he had Taneo. And then in the second set, he inserted Paul Vorosa.
That's true.
And then now it's Taneo once again. That time, though, Nursidik says, we got to get some points and string them together.
That's true. And you know, the effect of a stuff block is huge. We know that, right? We've covered so many games, played the game. And you're hoping, again, I mean, for the fans of the Navigators, you're hoping that's going to start, you know, some rally.
That was off the bounce. And that's going to bring us here to our second technical timeout of set number 3. And it's a 5-point advantage enjoyed by IMUS. IMUS looking well on their way to be able to take this one. But right now, once again, let's take a look at the supporters of Signal.
I'm so happy for men's volleyball. You see all those like personal posters. I did ask before what you call those. I forget now. I'm sorry.
Which ones?
The ones with the pictures. We see that in the women's a lot. The pictures of the players. There's a term for that.
Okay,
I can't remember.
I didn't know there was a technical term for that.
There is.
Austria was thinking of getting it, and the coaching staff screaming.
And even the bench has a better vantage point there. So good job, Hero, for listening to the voices.
17-12 now.
If you look at the shoulders, the facial expression of the Navigators, it's so far from what we've seen throughout the conference. Oh!
And here comes Disquitado.
Welcome back, Jay Disquitado. Come on, your fans might probably say, let's go.
Well, he's going to score a point there.
I saw Jay Disquitado and Hero Austria go near the net and then shook hands.
But a yellow is going to be issued there. Still a 4-point lead. Oh, another service error, and he's just piling up right now.
That's really the problem right now for the Navigators. You know, they can't seem to get any momentum going on their side.
They're down by 5. Taneo with the serve. You can see his numbers. He'll come up with a service error, though.
Well, they still have a 4-point lead. Talking about IMUS.
Now here's Disquitado. What does he do with this serve?
Sure serve. Oh!
And Malabunga says, you know what? You come up with a serve like that, I will eat that for breakfast.
Well, then food for thought. You want it served to the net, served outside, or served easy?
Either way, you lose the point. Pedro here. Now starting to come alive. The question is it a little bit too late?
Well, that's the Toto de Pedro that we know. Look at that. Just the flick of the wrist. And Saura was so surprised that he was able to get that tough angle.
Here's Guaza. Can he continue his great serving? Yes, he can. Good reception, good dig. Back to De Pedro. Dug there. Austria also with a very good afternoon here.
Well,
he has really been able to support his squad.
As you were saying that, look at Marmeto, the way he dug it. After that dig, he was looking already at the opponent. It's like taunting him, saying, come on.
Is that all you got?
That's all you got.
Come on, bring it on. De Pedro will score. He's having the best set so far for the afternoon, personally.
I totally agree. I mean, this is throughout the conference. That was what he was doing, you know, and did an off game so far. But the most important is how you end it, win or lose.
Trying to finish strong. Look at De Pedro's face, full of disappointment again.
You know what I heard? Well, Mohali again gets a point. You know what I heard? Right, when they were trying to do the math on who's going to play Signal in the finals, and then obviously it's Cotabato, the Navigators lost by 2 points. I was told by Miss Ada Carlos Bayuga earlier, she said 2 points. I mean, that's such a heartbreaker for these kids. So although they won game number 1, maybe these frustrations also, carrying through here in game number 2.
Don't look now. They're getting another look here of Ish Polvorosa. That's out. And it's now a 6-point advantage. This is the biggest lead in set number 3 for the squad of IMUS.
Angel Pertiera in for Rosales. But one thing, if you're the Navigators, you have to realize this is the first conference for you. You're a new team, young team. You should be happy that you didn't play this way in the finals because that's going to hurt. So things that you need to learn, moving forward, and maybe come October, a more mature team.
Desquitado will score once again as he's approaching the 20-point mark.
Well, and his fans are obviously expecting and hoping for 30.
He might get to 30 if we go to 4 sets.
Yes. It's still possible.
Pertiera got denied there. That lead has been cut down to 4. Coach Sammy trying to give some of his other players some well-needed experience. Put together there by Pertiera.
Oh, sometimes part of the panel.
I've worked with him a couple of times. Bang.
He like that coming off the bench. No need to warm up.
Pertiera now with the serve.
Looked like it was going out.
Could have sailed out. But this one will go in here for Desquitado.
Well, better hitting right now from Jay Desquitado.
But it just might be a little bit too late here. Well, IMUS ready to play side-out volleyball. Villanueva. Desquitado watch. 21 points. And Coach Simon says, okay, enough of the experimentation. It's now 23-20. We got to take this in 3 straight. You can't fool around because if you go to 4, then you start computing.
Not only that, you get to 4 and then you get a brand new Jay Desquitado playing in the 4th set. You don't know.
And that's why you send Malabunga in. It gets you to match point.
Coach Sammy. I saw his reaction when he called on Taneo to come in. That's it. That's it. No more.
It is set point, match point. This quite possibly could be for the bronze medal.
That hardware you were talking about.
Keeping it alive, there's Guaza. He has had a very quiet afternoon.
Actually, all of them for that matter, right? We talked about the Pedro. Jay Desquitado had a better start here in this match, but also tapered off. Overpass. Oh!
That is a statement.
Boy, Kim Malabunga, what a conference he's having, really. And if Signal wins it, you have the bronze medalist right there, IMUS.
They wanted to make sure of this one. They wanted to get it in 3 straight sets. They didn't want to get to a quotient system.
Well, for sure, again, great end to IMUS's campaign. They're showing us that they're going to be a team worth looking out for this coming October. And again, Coach Sammy, nothing less than the finals.
Winning it in 3 straight, 25-19, 25-18, and 25-21. IMUS taking 3rd.
What a wonderful afternoon, Spikers Stir fans. Here with me is player of the game. Leading the charge is Rico Marmeto, king of your floor defense today with 16 excellent digs and 20 excellent receptions. Alam ko na hindi lang sa maganda yung gising ninyo today. How crucial was it to have better communication, reception, and composure?
Yung ginawa lang namin is yung yun nga, hindi maganda yung gising namin. Ginawa lang namin yung best namin lahat at nagtulungan kami as a team. Tapos, inaalay namin yung laro namin sa nagmamahal sa IMUS na sumusuporta sa amin.
And it's all about working together, especially for the fans. And also, Rico, IMUS barely left any room for Iloilo to take the lead. So what kind of mindset did you bring in today in order to have that consistency all throughout the sets?
Ginawa ko lang yung consistency ko kasi nung game 1 namin is alam ko nagkulang kami. So ginawa ko yung best ko ngayon para makuha namin yung game 2.
And yes, syempre dahil dito, Rico, may gusto ka bang batiin mga loved ones mo?
Binabati ko yung pamilya ko dyan sa Cavite. Nanay ko, belated happy birthday po pala sa team captain namin, Ishpol Borosa. Yun na po. Sa management po namin.
Definitely, and congratulations again, Rico, and to the rest of the IMUS men's volleyball team. Up ahead is the Game 2 finals as the Signal HD Spikers will be facing the Cotabato Spikers. We'll be back.
That's our scoreline there, 25-19, 25-18, and 25-21. Great numbers there for Mameto. 16 excellent digs, 20 excellent receptions. And you know what I liked about that? You're used to seeing during the interview the other players in the background messing around, saying hi to the camera. But did you see Coach Sam in the back as well?
Yes.
He was there.
He was celebrating.
He's there enjoying with the rest of his squad, and it just shows you just how close-knit this squad is.
And again, I mean, the journey of IMUS, he knows he has a strong team, a couple of challenges along the way. They wanted to get to the finals, fell short. But we always say, again, like you said, they have the hardware to prove that they're a great team. They win well, it depends. If Signal wins, they win the bronze.
Yes.
If the battle for gold goes to the third game, there is another game. Let's look at some numbers here in terms of attacks. You can see the constant improvement of IMUS in attacks kept going up. Now they're at 18, so they were so good today, blocking just by 1, but they blocked enough in the first 2 sets. And the errors, again, 5 and 6. But overall, IMUS really was the more focused team today. They wanted to win. They wanted to win in straight sets, and they did accomplish that.
So all they need to do is for Signal to take care of business a little bit later on. And that is coming up next. Signal HD up against Cotabato. Game number 2 in just a bit. That's going to do it here for our coverage. On behalf of my partner, Noringo, our director, Koyo Pangko, Anthony Stay, saying thanks for joining us, everybody. Till next time, take care. Have a good afternoon ahead. God bless.